If you run an e-commerce business that generates at least $10 million a year in annual revenue, I'm going to share three reasons why you're struggling. These three pain points, if you solve, are oral to you. This works. So your main pain point, number one, is going to be centered around your conversion rate. You know what this means, so I'm not going to explain it to you right now. But you're struggling to improve that, and improving that conversion rate is going to mean the world to you in terms of revenue growth. The second thing here is you've got a poor UI or UX, your user interface, your user experience, and your cobbled together solutions. You've probably put a few tools in place, plug and play solutions that did get you from where you were to where you are, and they helped you along that journey. The problem is it's holding you back. And the third thing is your brand messaging and or position is just not resonating with your audience as you are a few clicks off of being able to pass that so that you can actually grow. Those are your top three things. Now, I've spent my entire career dedicated to solve these exact problems. Chances are, if you're watching this, you're here, it's because you've got at least one of those major issues and you're trying to fix it. So before we get into the details here, let me share just a couple numbers to illustrate the impact that this can have if you solve it. I said before, this can work if you're at 10 and theoretically any revenue threshold. It just doesn't make sense for me to focus on anything below $10 million. So at the $10 million threshold, if you have a 2% conversion rate and a $100 AOV, so that's your average order value. So this implies, based on that, you're seeing about 100,000 orders a year. You're generating roughly about 5 annual sessions to get those orders, right? So you've got $10 million in, you've got a 2% conversion rate. Your AOV is $100. It's getting you somewhere, but it's not what it could be. If we can get you 0.2% on that same exact traffic, so you're not getting any more traffic, you're not increasing spend or your ads, you're just increasing the effectiveness of your website on converting those customers. You get from 2% to 2.2% on that same traffic. You're looking at 110,000 orders a year. So that's just an increase of 10,000 orders. Existing $100 AOV, you're looking at an additional $1 million over the course of 1 year, going from 10 million to 11 million. So massive impact. A lot of improvements I see go hand in hand. So you're also not just going to improve conversion rate. Odds are, if you're improving conversion, you're probably going to be impacting or improving other areas as well to help lift. So that rising tide is going to lift all your boats, all your KPI boats. Conversion rate is going to lift. Your AOV hopefully will be impacted, and we're going to be thinking about that as we go through this. So to expect, let's a $2 lift would be realistic on your AOV. So you go from $100 to $102 on that AOV. So now you've got 110,000 orders coming in over the course of a year, from $100 to $102 in AOV. And you're looking at generating on those numbers alone $11.2 million a year, probably just over that, but about there. So you've now increased your revenue by $1.2 million, or it's a rough 12.2% increase in revenue. That's with no traffic growth. A lot of brands think that, hey, we're at 2% to grow our revenue. Let's pump more traffic. Let's be more creative in marketing in our ads. And while that can increase the bottom line, that's great and that's fine, but you're hurting yourself. So if you want to increase your overall effectiveness, those viral brands, the brands that really take market share, the brands that fly past other brands doing the exact same thing with the exact same products across the board. I've seen this time and time again. They get this right. I have been there to help brands do that. So you might say, yeah, right. I've already tried this before, right? We've worked with many different agencies. We've worked with marketing teams. They only took my money. And outside of some redesign or landing page, there were no real tangible impacts to our KPIs that stuck, right? I get it. I've gone through this with hundreds of brands over the years. I completely understand where you're at. And a lot of people feel the same. I can't undo your past. I can't answer for other people's incompetence. It doesn't say that optimizations don't work. If they're done poorly, they don't work. I have spent a career solving these problems and built a system, and that's what we use at Bighorn for our brands that we've developed and perfected, that we can guarantee will make improvements to your bottom line without even increasing your traffic. If we're unable to make improvement, it's 100% on us. You have nothing to lose. On that note, we always generate improvements, oftentimes massive improvements. We don't sit here and say, how can we take your brand from 2% to 2.2%? I pulled that thin air just to illustrate how big of an impact we can have here, right? We sat down and said, how can we maximize the impact? So let me show you. So let me just give step one of our system. Okay. The first step is going to start off with a comprehensive review of your system and your stack. And, we believe in this so strongly that this is something that we offer for free as part of any of our packages. So as a brand comes to us, they sign up. It's mandatory. It's like you hire an electrician or you hire somebody to come do a remodel project on your house. They're going to show up with tools, and you're not going to tell them which tools to use and which tools not to use, or use a different brand, DeWalt versus Milwaukee, right? You're not going to tell them what tools to use because they're the pros, they're the experts, and they're comfortable with those tools. Same thing here. We're going to bring our tool set that we have perfected and we have built for this very purpose. So we start off with a comprehensive assessment. The template or the approach that we use is the same, but it will be specific to the brand. So if we start off within the UI UX, we're going to look within your business vertical. We're going to say, hey, here's how you're presenting your brand. Here's the feel. Here's the user journeys within the UI UX itself, like the header navigation, right? Your homepage, your product display pages, your product listing pages. Here's your cart. Here's the overall experience in products as you introduce them through the buy journey. We're going to run this through our system and give you the output of that. And we're going to go through all of the different areas. In the case that I'm sharing with you here, there is a corporate gifting element, right? So you have to take that and pull that in and say, how are you delivering your corporate gifting experience? It probably will be different for you. You might not have this, but whatever you do have, we'll be able to tie that experience together. Output of step one is anywhere from 40 to 60 slides in a presentation. The next slide is going to show what that can look like. Really, more importantly, is the format. So you get your observations. These are not all of the observations. These are the ones that our team has debated over as being some of the most important ones to talk about. On this example here, we've got 5 observations, 3 why it matters. So why should you care about this? And we've got 5 opportunities as well on this single slide. And this is just looking at the mobile menu, the fly out navigation within that mobile menu experience. So we rank all of what we're explaining, why we're putting this forth, a general effort on it, so you get a context of a ring or a criteria to prioritize. And so this final slide gives us a ranked, prioritized set of recommendations that we can plan against, right? So we have our effort. So how we do this is we want to see biggest impact, least effort, because we're looking at increasing your conversion rate, your KPIs as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. So we run our projects, stack these, and we plan for you what that delivery looks like and what the timeline looks like to execute based on what we're finding here. So you can come to us and say, hey, I agree with this, or let's reprioritize, but you get also a sense of the effort and how we can plan these deliverables so we can get in, we can get out with the maximum impact that we can in as little time as possible. And this is just step one of that system. Drop us a line, bighornwebsolutions.com. Reserve your spot for our next available onboard. We'll see you there.